Caleb, kia ora. Nice to talk to you
Kia ora.
tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to be talking about Atamira Dance Company's new show, and it is
Ai,
Rongo Whakapā. Am I
ai,
correct?
correct. Rongo
Yeah,
Whakapā. Ai.
yeah. Now it means a sense of touch. Is that right?
Yeah, so when Brydie, our choreographer, introduced the title Rongo Whakapā, she was talking to a close friend of hers, and they were trying to figure out like what the essence of the work is and what they should name it. And Brydie has been talking about how intimacy and touch and how that's kind of been lost in our everyday world now. And
Yeah.
so when trying to think of a title, they're like, what can we come up with? And Tui was like, oh, rongo whakapā. It loosely translates to like the sense of touch and that wanting to be intimate or wanting to have a sense of touch with another person, whether that's like physical touch or just like an emotional touch,
Yeah,
spiritual
yeah.
touch. Yeah.
Well, so much of our world is online now, isn't it? And
I,
social media, we're all posting up pictures, we're seeing things from around the globe, all of that stuff.
yeah.
But it can't replace a real human connection, can it?
Yeah, no, yeah, and that is also what we've been like playing with is like how we're so lost in these little
Mm.
screens
Yeah,
and how that
yeah,
has become our form of intimacy as peoples as consumers. It's so easily and readily available and it's a quick fix. The
yeah,
dopamine
yeah,
hit and it's like,
yeah.
yep, that this is and we lose that sense of touch with a real
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, that's a really nice way of looking at things. And of
Mm.
course, I've seen a lot of Atamira dance shows over the years, and they're very physical. Even if you have more than one dancer on stage, they may be
Yeah.
doing things separately, and then they come together. But there is something quite visceral about
Mhm.
the physicality of it. So
Mm.
explain to me how that's being translated. So those themes of touch and connection, how are they being translated into the actual movements? If that's not too hard for an evening.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, it's quite cool because Bridie is like works in so many different like movement practices. It's like she does her dance practice, her yoga practice,
Mhm.
as well as this kind contact um type of practice that she's been working with. And it's just how you can touch a body and how you can like hold someone. So like lots of in the development weeks, we're doing lots of stuff like how can we just hold someone's hand
Mm.
and then how can we just allow the weight to sit into your hand and really be given over to the driver and passenger, and then the driver
Yep.
just takes the passenger on a little experience and on a journey, and we find movement from that, which has been such a nice tool that she's had so available to just like share with us. And so we can find intimacies and just a handshake or intimacy and just like eye contact. And yeah, it was like, yeah, easy as that.
So what's been the process for you? Has it been quite rewarding? I mean, obviously it's work. You have to learn all
Mm,
this stuff,
yeah,
but you are a dancer, you are a choreographer yourself.
yeah,
So has it been a really nice process of bringing
yeah.
this to fruition?
I mean, when we first started the development of Rongo Whakapā, we had like 1 week in January, and that week was, I mean, for me, so nice because we were just sharing our own thoughts, our own
Mm.
whakaaro on what intimacy is to us
Yeah.
and what we put value on and what we might not necessarily see as intimacy, but someone else in the group is like, no,
Yeah.
but actually value that as intimacy. And then having those conversations, it was also nice to just like realize the intimate parts of my relationship with me and my partner, things that, oh, actually I'm overlooking those things and I'm not
Yeah.
actually allowing space for that to be intimacy and to be able to
Mm.
just sit in that and have this real moment and this sharing with another person. And it's like, oh, yes, I can just sit and listen and
Mhm.
us just be quiet
Yeah.
in a room together. And that is just so intimate in itself. And just, we're also talking about like lots of like mundane things that we do, like braiding someone's hair or getting someone ready for a show or like, like when you're backstage, you're helping someone put on their costume, and like, yes, it's efficiency, but it's also intimacy, because like
Yeah.
if you are trusting this other person, that trust that you have with this other person to do this, to be there with you and to help you with that, getting
And
ready for a quick change. It's like, yeah, I believe and I trust you are able to do that for me, which is intimacy.
yeah, and it's you're caring for one another, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
So the company is very much a whānau, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It's very,
Mm.
I mean, it's just it's a Māori company, and we have tikanga right at the top, and then all of the values and stuff that trickle on underneath that is like, yeah, it very much does build a whānau environment where we're like quite on the same page. And we're like, yes, these are our values, and this is what we care about, and we need to get to the end. How are we going to do that? Which is,
No,
yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. So it's at Te Pou in Henderson,
I,
which is I have been there, not for a while,
mm,
but that is a really cavernous space. And I know productions I've been to, they'll have seating, and so they'll compartmentalize often. How is that space being utilized for this? Because I understand people
yeah.
you're encouraging the audience to kind of move a little. So how is that all kind of coming together?
Yeah, so we have Rowan Pierce, who is the spatial designer of Rongo Whakapā, and he's come up with these really cool concepts. They're little drawings on the wall, so when we're in studio, we get to see what the stage is going to look like. But
Yeah.
it's basically, you would walk through a door, and then you're just traversing the whole dance floor. There will be some set, and then like sets of little rooms. I kind of imagine it as like an art gallery, and
Oh,
we're like
fantastic.
walking around looking at these little paintings, and they're just like pockets of rooms and intimacy, that dancers are going to be in this pocket, and you can be observing there, and there might be something happening behind you, and you can choose to stay engaged with this or go over and see what's pulling you over that way. So yeah, the whole time you can it's just an immersive world that you're able to be an audience member, engage with whatever's happening by a performer, or disengage, which is quite nice, and just walk away.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way of doing
Yeah, I
a
mean,
piece of dance theatre. Yeah, really
yeah, I've
interesting.
done maybe like a couple little things where it's set up in like a gallery space, and it's honestly, I love it. It's my favorite way to. I'm like, oh yes, I can
Yeah.
actually see, and it's that breaking that intimacy between performer and audience as well, because we usually, as audience, you're sat back here watching the
Yes.
show, and then you leave.
And in a way, as you know, dance is fantastic to watch, but it is an audience member quite passive. You're just sitting there observing.
That yeah.
And so to actually move around is quite an interesting concept. For you yourself as a performer in this piece, will you move around as well, or does each dance person or maybe duo or whatever, are they in one place all through the entire show, or is that also fluid?
That is also fluid. We are
Yeah.
moving around. We have the set designed by Rowan, and we get to move the set around. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be quite fun. You
No,
should
that's
definitely come see
fantastic.
it.
Yeah. No, it sounds fantastic. So
Yeah.
you've been with Atamira since 2020, is that right? About
Yes,
5 years?
2020. Yeah.
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 So what got you into dance? When did you first kind of get the bug and start looking into it?
Honestly, this is my favorite story. Because
Yeah.
I started dance at like in year 12 of high school. So that's like what, 16, 17.
Mhm.
And I had this friend all the way through intermediate. And she was a hip hop dancer, and she was just like, Caleb, you need to dance. I can so see you being a hip hop dancer. It's gonna
Yeah.
happen. And then I was like, no, I don't dance. It's not a thing. Anyway, she convinced me to go to a dance class, and I loved it. And I was like, oh my God, why did I think I wouldn't love dancing? I'm a performer. I love performing.
Brilliant.
Um, and so, but hip hop definitely wasn't my calling. I'm a little bit
Mhm.
too Gumby for the hip hop swag. I definitely don't got that.
Yeah.
But when it came to contemporary dance, I was like, yes, this is what I love. I love the storytelling. I love being emotional on stage. I love the whole show of it, and
Oh, fantastic.
performing, and
Yeah.
so that was what got me into dance.
And I know you have done some choreography. Do you
Mm.
see that as your potential future for you? Maybe a little bit of both?
Yeah, before, because I got to choreograph a small little work for Kaha uh, Triple Boost, and that was I think in 2022. And it was at that stage I'd always told myself that I just want to be a dancer. I love making someone else's vision come to the stage. But then I was asked to make a little thing. I was like, okay, well, what do I like? I like telling stories. I love sharing my thoughts and other people's thoughts. Maybe I'll just make a dance about storytelling. And it was so much fun, and all the ideas just like kept coming to my brain. I'd write it out on paper, and then the next day I'd go to the dancers and be like, this, I want this, and then they would do it. So yeah, after that experience, yeah, definitely I can see choreography being something that I'll definitely drawn to, which is exciting because I didn't ever think during studying that I would ever want or be called to be a choreographer. I was like, I'll always be dancing. But then given the opportunity to choreograph, I was like, oh, I love this as well. Yeah.
Well,
That's quite nice.
no, that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Hey, well, look, really nice to talk to you. All the best for the upcoming show.
Thanks.
And I'll be interested to see if you do take up that choreography and take it
I'll
further.
let you know.
So, yeah. So thanks again and have a great night.
Thank you so much, Andrew. You have a good night.